You walk across campus, and something about the way they look at you feels off. You say something in class, they chuckle like it was a joke, but you weren't joking. You hang out with the group, but somehow you're always the one they mock, the one they forget, the one they don't take seriously. You laugh it off, but deep down you feel it. You know you're not being respected, and it builds slowly until one day you stop raising your hand, stop speaking up, stop showing your real self, because college starts to feel like a stage and you're playing a part just to be included. But here's the truth: you're not the joke because you're weak. You're the joke because you haven't set the frame. And I will fix that damn problem today. Not with fake alpha tips, not with toxic advice, but with 5 shifts that will make people in your college stop treating you like an afterthought. After all, you're the listener of Letter to Men. You're my responsibility. In this video, you'll learn how to carry yourself, how to draw lines without drama, and how to make your presence felt without chasing anyone. Let's start. Point number 1, you're performing instead of owning. Respect doesn't come when you try to impress, it comes when you stop trying to perform. Most guys who are treated like jokes are performing all the time. They're trying to sound funny, trying to sound smart, trying to sound alpha, trying to sound humble. But people can feel that. They feel the try, they feel the acting, and that makes them pull back. Because when you're performing, you're not grounded, you're not leading, you're just reacting. And the moment people sense that, they don't see you as someone to follow, they see you as someone to tolerate. If you walk into every interaction hoping to be liked, you've already lost, because that energy is not attractive, it's not respected, it's ignored. Now, I'm not saying stay silent, I'm not saying act like a stone, but you need to stop doing things just to be accepted. When you speak, it should be because you mean it, not because you want them to smile. When you enter a room, it should be with the energy of someone who belongs, not someone asking for permission. People notice the difference. There's a reason the quiet guy often gets more respect than the loud one, because he's not chasing attention, he's commanding it without asking. So how do you own instead of perform? Start watching your own behavior. Next time you crack a joke, ask yourself, did I say that because it's what I really felt? Or because I wanted to be funny? Next time you agree with someone, ask yourself, do I believe this? Or do I just want him to like me? That self-check, that awareness is what shifts everything. You stop being the joke when you stop acting like one, even when you think you're being charming. And this connects directly to what I'll explain in point 4, where we'll talk about how to handle disrespect without ever raising your voice. But we're not there yet, because first, you need to fix your presence. Point number 2, you don't set boundaries, so no one takes you seriously. Here's something no one told you growing up. People test you constantly. They test how far they can push. They test how much you'll tolerate. They test whether you'll break or stand still. If you keep laughing at jokes made about you, they'll keep making them. If you keep letting people interrupt you, they'll never hear you. If you keep acting like everything's okay, even when it's not, they'll assume you don't deserve better. Because here's the truth: you teach people how to treat you every single day. Now, this doesn't mean you start fighting everyone. This doesn't mean you become rude. That's weak energy in disguise. But what you do need to develop is boundary presence. Let me give you an example. Someone cracks a joke that crosses the line. Everyone laughs. You smile too, even though it stung. You just told the whole room that it's okay to laugh at you like that. Now imagine if instead you paused, you didn't fake a laugh, you looked at them calmly and said, that wasn't funny. No anger, no drama, just stillness. Watch how the energy shifts, because the room just saw someone who doesn't accept disrespect. Not emotionally, not for a second. Boundaries are not lines you draw with your mouth. They're lines you draw with your energy. And if you keep letting people talk over you, play with your name, mock how you dress without ever checking them calmly, you will always be the one they laugh at, even when they claim you're just a friend. So what do you do now? Start by noticing where you laugh when you don't want to. Start by not responding when someone tries to bait you. Start by showing discomfort when something crosses the line. That's how you teach them that you're not the joke anymore. Point number 3, you try too hard to be funny. There's a type of guy in every college group. He cracks jokes non-stop, makes fun of himself, tries to make everyone laugh, and people laugh, but never respect him, because what starts as being funny slowly turns into being the clown. Humor can be powerful, but when it's coming from insecurity, it becomes self-sabotage. If you're always the one making jokes, if you can't sit in silence, if you turn every serious moment into a punchline, then you're not being funny. You're avoiding being real. People sense that. They start seeing you as the guy who's always joking, never serious, never grounded, and that guy never gets respect. If you want to be taken seriously in college, you have to be okay with not being funny all the time. Start choosing your moments. Be the guy who's quiet sometimes, who listens more, who speaks when it matters, and when you do make a joke. Make sure it's not about yourself, because constantly laughing at yourself trains people to do the same. And once that identity sticks, it's hard to shake. You can still be humorous, but it should come from calm confidence, not from a need to be liked. This connects with what I said earlier. When you stop performing, people start watching. Now we move from behavior to energy, because respect isn't just about what you say, it's also about how you walk, sit, and look. Point number 4, you don't carry stillness. Most guys who get laughed at in college don't even realize it, but their energy is loud, reactive, always on edge. They talk fast, laugh too hard, move too much, fidget, over-explain. They think they're being social, but what they're really doing is leaking insecurity, because masculine respect comes from stillness. Watch a man who gets respect on campus. He doesn't move frantically. He doesn't interrupt. He's not trying to keep the conversation alive. He sits back. He listens more. He looks people in the eye. And when he speaks, it's slow, clear, and grounded. Stillness is power. And the truth is, if you're constantly moving, constantly reacting, you're training people to see you as unstable. In college, where social image forms fast, your body language builds your reputation before your words do. So here's what to start doing today. Walk slower, talk slower, pause before you respond, stop laughing just because others are, let silence happen, hold eye contact, don't break it nervously. These are not tricks, they're habits that, when practiced, change how people read your presence. Stillness makes people curious, it makes them wonder, it makes them adjust around you. And once you start building this, you'll feel it. Your space will feel more respected, and you'll speak less, but be heard more. Now let's end with the final shift, because even if people have laughed at you for years, you can still change their view, but you have to commit to this one thing. Point number 5, you never reinvented yourself. If you've been the joke guy since day one of college, if people already see you as someone who can be mocked, then you need to hear this. You are allowed to reinvent yourself. One of the most powerful things a man can do is quietly change, not for others, but for himself. If you've been playing small, being too nice, over talking, over giving, letting people slide, you can stop that without announcing it, without saying a word. Just stop reacting the way they expect. If you used to laugh when they joked about you, now you go silent. If you used to always show up desperate to be invited, now you let plans happen without you. Reinvention starts with decisions, small ones, daily ones, but consistent. You don't need to fight for respect. You need to build a presence that makes disrespect feel out of place. That doesn't happen overnight, but every quiet change stacks. And one day they stop laughing, not because you yelled, but because your presence shifted. Let them say you've changed. Let them feel uncomfortable around the new you. That's how you know it's working. Reinvention is how you end the old story and start walking like the man you were meant to be. Here are my final words. You're not the joke. You were just never told how to lead. College is not just about grades or girls. It's the training ground for how the world will treat you. If you keep playing small, you'll stay stuck in people's minds as small. But the moment you decide to stop performing, set boundaries, hold stillness, and slowly reinvent yourself, you become someone they can't ignore anymore. Not because you yell louder, but because you move different, stand different, live different, and that version of you is already being built, one quiet decision at a time. Comment no more mass if you're done pretending to be liked and ready to be respected. This is Letter to Men. Keep walking.